respect, and that's another one that I've seen some great progression in practice. I've seen us shooting the ball better. I've seen us defensively getting a better understanding for some things, and we were really fortunate to, except for the first 5 minutes, really put a complete game together. They made those threes in the second half and got very iffy for a minute, up 11 with 5 minutes to go is not a safe lead today. And Charles making that three at the corner, he's worked so hard on his three-point game. He made 2 of them today. You know, that whole starting 5 is, I think one of the announcers told me today, they appear like they're connected. They are getting more and more connected daily. They're still not seeing each other the way they will as we go forward, but they are doing a really good job of finding each other, and that's a big difference. And defensively, then, they're really connected. They talk really well. We did a great job on a lot of the action that is just so hard to guard. I think once we got used to their speed after the first, we couldn't simulate in practice with our scout team how fast White was going to get down the floor, how fast they were going to run after the big guys. And they got us early, but then we adjusted and we were fine.
Jacob, you want to start something?
Yeah. John, Luke May obviously had a big game last year against you guys. What do you think was the biggest difference in the match tonight?
And I mean this a compliment to Isaiah and Duncan Robinson last year. Let's put it on me. Our forward-man defense last year, we were not as good at. We probably didn't emphasize it enough and what we had to do with him. And we've been emphasizing, realizing that a guy like Luke is really tough to guard because he shoots, he can post, he can play with his back to the basket, and he can really pass. And we were going in that game, we were very conscious of other elements of their game, and Luke just killed us. And we practiced a lot. We didn't talk a lot this week about their other good players, even though they're talented. We talked about Luke May for 2 straight days because he really put it on us last year.
Stay here with Chris.
I think with like 7 minutes to go, you contested 90% of their shots. I think was the stat.
You're keeping that stat?
That was ESPN.
Who's keeping that stat? That's ESPN.
It was Dan Murphy.
Yeah, we keep that stat. I think we were 92 at halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you have to understand the patterns they're doing, and you have to understand the switching or non-switching they're doing to get that done. But the effort areas, Luke Yakud says, we're going to contest shots with every fiber of our being. He actually says that. And we do. We do.
And then talk about the hustle play by Teskey.
Yeah, it was a big part of it. I mean, we needed something going into halftime there that just to get us going. And because we did get up, and then all of a sudden, you know, they made a little bit of a run, and they could have scored at that last one. Teskey getting up. 7'1" guys don't go and get that ball like that. So he didn't shoot the ball well. He didn't shoot fouls well. He's such a huge presence for us defensively, and just how he carries himself on the court.
On your right, Zach.
John, you mentioned getting used to the team's speed, but to be down 10 and then go on a 17-2 run, I guess what else, or what sort of things did you see from the team before that started, and what does it say that they went on that?
When they got ahead of us, we missed some layups, we missed some foul shots, we left some one-on-ones empty, and then we just started making shots, and we found each other, right? I think that, that tempo that they were playing at, can go the other way for you. If you just get stops and you're going up the court and you get into a track meet, we're pretty good in offensive transition. We found some guys. So, but we made shots. We made shots, and I've been watching in practice happen. Never enough, right? I want everybody to never miss in practice ever when they're open, but today we were really good at that.
Over here on your left, Doug.
Coach, you've already said that you can get better, and your teams tend to get better as the season goes on, but as well as you're playing right now, how much better can you play than this?
Oh, I hope we'll get a whole lot better. I mean, everything's so relative for me because I coach the team, and I just look at, when you're a coach, you see your weaknesses much more than you see your strengths sometimes, and that's a weakness of mine as well. But we have a lot of room to grow. We need the bench to develop. We need to get the freshmen better, and we need Teskey to do something offensively for us too. I mean, that'll be huge. I think that Jordan Poole and guys like that, they're gonna 10 assists and 1 turnover is really good. But I thought there were some other opportunities they could have seen open guys too. So it's a breakdown, inch by inch. You get 1% better every day. Who knows what can happen?
On the right with Andrew.
Kind of going off that, other than Spain and the 10 extra practices, why do you think this team is playing, at a higher level earlier than maybe some of your past teams?
I think it has a lot to do with our leadership right now with Charles and Xavier and John Teskey. These guys have won a lot of games in their first 2 years. And they've been good in postseason. They've won a lot of games. And they practice with a purpose every day. They really are leaders. They hold. Iggy's got such great role models looking at him right now. Isaiah Livers is the same way. They're saying, this is what we do in Michigan. And we're going to win if we just do these things. We're spirited in our workouts, but Xavier and Charles in particular, they are really showing great leadership as far as effort areas in practice. I have to dial them back in practice.
On your left with Bojo.
John, Roy Williams said this was the most frustrated he's been in 31 years of his coaching, going up against your defense and in general with his team. Is that obviously what you guys want to do, try to do, hope to do?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest compliments I've ever had, right? That he would ever say that, or our teams have ever had. Yeah, I mean, that's what, it's not like we're trying to frustrate you. We're trying to keep people from score baskets. And they run some great stuff, and they got young players in there playing now too. And we're young, but we don't have freshmen out there too much, just one really good one. So that's quite a compliment, because I think they traditionally have had one of the best offenses anywhere. And we were able to do that. I think going back to the beginning when we had to get ready to play Holy Cross, it's calculus. It's really, our kids were so focused that they realized that what Luke's talking about, what we're talking about as a team really works if you put in the effort and the film study on it.
Stay there with Sean.
John, I know some years you've had teams that have taken a while to find their swagger,
Yeah.
the word you like to use sometimes. Have you ever had a team that has shown this much this early in that way?
We're talking about like this,
Yeah,
all these
just
things out there.
Not just deflecting.
I'm still like making up my mind on that. I gotta look at it on video again. They're having fun. No, that's the thing. That's not a bad thing. They have confidence and they have swagger as long as we don't show up the other team. But yeah, I like that. They enjoyed themselves with a great crowd like this. Thought we were a little nervous at the beginning, but we showed a lot of swag in the second half.
On your right with Nolan.
Charles doing a little bit of everything for you guys out there. He's defending, he's throwing backdoor passes from the perimeter. I mean, how much better are you seeing him maybe see the game in terms of his all-around?
Yeah, it slows down. I think there's another level for him right now to be able to we're hoping that he can really put the whole package together. There's 3-point in between, but in the meantime, his effort area is never in question. And so sometimes you just get tired in that effort area. You can't make good decisions. He's making good decisions right now over and over again. So still not perfect, but we love coaching him. I mean, whenever he makes a mistake, he's the first one that's not pointing fingers at anybody else, pointing at himself. So, Coach, I know better than that.
Stay over there with Greg.
The piggybacking on swag, can you pinpoint like where that comes from?
Well, Jordan Poole makes it go into that locker room, and maybe it's like a flu in there, right? That everybody's got a little bit, a good flu. But I just think our kids are, when you're having some success, and you realize that playing really hard and together is fun, I think it's so natural to believe in yourself and have great confidence.
On your left with Brendan.
John, do you guys do anything to practice, it sounds simple, but to practice keeping the ball in front of you?
Yeah. To guard your yard, we usually every day we're doing some type of slide drills, just staying in front of, whether it's a manager, well, not really a manager, staying in front of one of our non-scholarship players, or just stay in front of a freshman. And they get through every move, and you just got to stay in front and stay in front and stay in front without putting your hands in here, right? So, I mean, doing our shuffles and our slides are something that's a daily habit.
Did you not do that as much, or?
No, we've done it before, but different people are going to be different, and we've had people, and one of our players is doing it right now. They're opening the door when they do that, and they're getting themselves in trouble. And just understanding that. But here's what the key is that John Sanderson, that's a technique that he can use in the workouts as well, that people are pushing and doing a shuffle in their weight room workouts all summer long. That's helping.
Stay in the middle with Jay.
John, you said yesterday that kind of figuring out this team's identity this year was a puzzle that you and the other coaches were looking forward to putting together. So going off Roy's comments now, just post-game, what's it like for you guys to kind of be a puzzle or almost a Rubik's Cube that other teams seem to have trouble solving?
I don't know. I'll let them worry about that. I will. I just want us to keep getting better. That's the only thing. These wins like this will be, I'll be watching the film. We got Purdue coming up. I'll be watching the film saying, what can we do better? And that's where we are. You have your hand up the whole time, so make sure you got it this time.
Okay. John, what did you see from Iggy tonight, especially after he kind of sparked that 17-2 run?
Yeah, he is just, he's not, I don't think he is in awe of these, he's never played in an environment like that. And that is, he's not in awe of any of that. He just comes in and performs through it. So that's a difficult matchup. Like Luke May's a tough match. Him playing, like we're playing two small forwards, and him being guarded by the other team's four-man is a tough thing. And I think we had it with Glenn Robinson, right? We had it with Duncan Robinson. We've had a lot of four-mans that's difficult for people. Zach Novak was a tough matchup, right? Draymond Green's trying to guard Zach Novak. That's hard. That's hard. So that's a position that's really very suited for Iggy this year.
You're right with James.
John, most teams holding North Carolina under 30 points what they average would consider it a good job, but Charles wasn't too pleased with it. I guess what does that say about what your players expect?
Yeah,
from
we didn't like those threes that they got late and a couple of them offensive rebounds, and they're sort of scrambling. It wasn't out of their sets that they got it. But Charles has possessed the defense. He is the most, he and Xavier are the most driven defensive players I've ever coached. This is what they want to do, and the offense is sort of residual out of it.
And what do you feel like is the next step or the next level for this team defensively?
Have a really good practice, have a really good film session tomorrow and grow from it and get ready for a really good Purdue game. Just every single game is going to be, it is November 28th. It is a long season, and we're playing really good November basketball. And I remember last year Notre Dame being a great team and winning the Maui Classic and everything, right? And then they had an injury or whatever. Just try and get better every day, and who knows what can happen with this team. But I just wanted to continue with that day-to-day approach.
Go back to Chris.
Limiting their offensive rebounds and then the transition defense, those were keys. Can you just talk about
I think the first half was really key because they didn't get many, and that was huge for us because that's the only way we got back in the game. Second half, there were some funky rebounds. They went all over the place, but that's a big emphasis with all of us is box out, block out without fouling because they're such a long athletic team. But we really did a good job of just getting enough. And our guards rebound again. Both Jordan and Xavier had like 9 or 10 rebounds combined. That's big. When you remember how Derek Walton would go in there and rebound, that's big for us to do that. That way, but Teskey, Iggy, Charles, they don't mind mixing it up in there. They're not leaking out.
Take one more with Derek.
John, Xavier Simpson was all over the court tonight, making great defensive plays and patrolling the offense with great precision. Was this his best performance so far in this young season?
It's tough for me to rate those two things. I mean, with the way he played at George Washington offensively was really good for him. I would have loved to see him nail that three and make all those foul shots. And it's a work in progress, and nobody works harder than him. But there's one thing that I know: when he decides to guard somebody, I think probably White making 7 threes against Texas or whoever he made them against. I forget who he made them. That's right up Xavier's alley. You mean I get to guard that guy? That's exactly what I want.
Coach, that's
Okay, thanks everybody.